We want to know if nitrogen levels in the vineyard impact the winemaking process and wine sensory qualities. So we made 12 white wines with different varying nutrient qualities, and today panelists will be tasting them. They will be given 12 black glasses to taste 12 white wines in black glasses so they can't tell the difference in color. We really want to emphasize the differences in flavor and in aroma and in mouthfeel. And what they will be doing is tasting each one and then grouping the wines based on how similar or different they think they are.
When I first touch my tongue, I can feel sort of like bubbling for some of the samples, but not that strong for others. And then the other one is how much fruity taste and aroma. So maybe like, okay, this is more astringent, this is less sour, and then has some like fizziness.
I do not like dry wine. And so almost every time I would get something and my initial reaction would be, I immediately knew that that was what I was categorizing as dry. I definitely think that more people should get the opportunity to come and do these studies because A, it gets me more exposure as a consumer, but also like you're making a huge impact in what you get to buy in the next year.
Winemakers, if they notice a deficiency of nitrogen in the juice that they're going to be fermenting in the winery, can add exogenous nitrogen to that to sort of serve as a food source for the yeast, if you will. So we can see, if we add the nitrogen in the vineyard, it's taken up by the plant, translocated to the fruit. It may show up in different forms, and different amino acids might be present that may then have an impact on wine flavor, as opposed to what we might add as a yeast food or a yeast nutrient in the winemaking process. So that kind of reinforces the concept that the forms of nitrogen present in the fruit might play a role in how that wine tastes and how it may or may not be really characteristic of a place and typical practices there. So it's important to investigate this in Virginia with grapes that we grow here like Chardonnay or Chardonnay.
I've learned so much about the food analysis realm in general and learning how to titrate. I didn't know how to titrate before coming to this lab, and volatile acidity I think is the coolest thing just because I love working with the cash still, which is the thing that bubbles the sample up and then the vapor gets condensed and that's what you're collecting. I will say the food science department is really good at getting you involved in the lab very early on. There's a ton of graduate students that need help with collecting their data, so there's a lot of areas for you to just step in.
Taking into consideration the chemistry, the microbiology, the different way wine tastes and is perceived from a consumer standpoint, that's why I wanted to study wine, because there's more to consider than just what is in this food. There is a whole world surrounding wine, and the fact that we can create all of that from just grapes is fascinating to me.